No other footballer typifies self-confidence and a larger-than-life ego than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But what is even more interesting is his life off the pitch. From growing up in a broken home to endless fights, legal troubles, a strange relationship, and ridiculously expensive properties, this is the controversial and colorful lifestyle of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Mr. Šefik Ibrahimovic, a Bosnian immigrant, and his Croatian wife, Jorka Gravic, welcomed Zlatan into the world on October 3, 1981 in Malmö, Sweden. The family lacked necessities and lived in abject poverty. Even worse, Zlatan's parents split up when he was just 2 years old. Constant fights, child neglect, and abuse. It was a broken home. Zlatan lived with his mother who remarried and was often beaten up. This was the beginning of a difficult childhood for the Swede, who would later refer to fatherlessness as the most harmful demographic trend in his story. At 9, he was sent to live with his father, but since they had no money, Zlatan became a petty thief, often stealing bikes and sweets from shops in the neighborhood of Rosengård. Even at school, he was a bully and was often violent to the other kids. Fortunately for the Swede, he first began playing football when he received a set of boots for his birthday at 6. He and his friends often tried outrageous tricks, shots, and flicks on an old gravel pitch. But by the time he was 15, he still preferred to work on the docks of Malmö rather than playing football, but luckily, his coach convinced him to choose football. In 1996, at the age of 15, Zlatan began playing for Malmö FF, and he looked up to the Brazilian striker Ronaldo as his idol. 3 years later, he was called up to the senior team and spent the next 3 years at the club before attracting the attention of Ajax, who signed him for €8.7 million. In his 4 seasons with the Eredivisie side, Zlatan scored 48 goals in 110 appearances and helped the club to 2 league titles. He started the 2004 to 2005 season at Juventus after moving to the Italian side in a €16 million deal. He left for Inter Milan 2 seasons later after Juve were involved in a match-fixing scandal. He had 3 successful seasons at Inter, winning 3 consecutive league titles and scoring a total of 66 goals before being snatched by Barcelona. However, he didn't really impose himself at the club due to clashes with Guardiola. After just 1 season, he moved to AC Milan, where he rediscovered his lethal goal-scoring powers and helped the club win the Serie A. He moved to PSG in 2012 and became one of the highest-paid footballers in the world. He was most prolific at the French club, scoring an outrageous 156 goals in just 180 appearances over 4 seasons. After winning a dozen trophies, he signed as a free agent for Manchester United and helped them to win the Europa League and League Cup in his first season. Affected by injuries and external factors, he mutually agreed to terminate his contract at Man United and moved to LA Galaxy, where he spent 2 seasons before returning to Europe and helping AC Milan to their first league title in 11 years. For Sweden, Zlatan remains the country's top scorer with 62 goals in twice as many appearances since making his debut in 2001. In a career spanning over 2 decades and already 41, Ibrahimovic has carved his name into the history books of the beautiful game with his exceptional skill, bold personality, and longevity, with over 570 goals for club and country and scores of trophies and individual awards. But now that we've seen how intriguing his career has been, let's see what goes on off the pitch. Zlatan Ibrahimovic and his longtime partner Helena Seeger first met in 2002 when their cars collided in a parking lot. Ibrahimovic, who was driving a Ferrari, double-parked next to Seeger's car, and she was not pleased, yelling at him to move. However, it was love at first sight for the Swede, who fell in love with her blue eyes and set out to win the heart of the former Swedish model and businesswoman. Despite being 41 years old, the 6'5" Zlatan maintains a high fitness level by practicing taekwondo and following a strict diet. Zlatan's favorite meal is pasta falukorv, but he has excluded junk food and frozen food from his diet to maintain a healthy body weight close to 100 kilograms. Zlatan is also popular with tattoos, and he has adorned his body with many of them. Some of the most prominent ones include the Ibrahimovic code, which consists of numbers on his right wrist and the names of his 2 sons on his right arm. His left wrist bears 2 playing cards, one of which features the letter H inside the Ace of Hearts, paying homage to his partner Helena Seeger. On the same wrist, you can also find the birth dates of his mother and sister. Let's now dive into the luxurious properties that Ibrahimovic owns. Zlatan is known for his extravagant lifestyle. He has homes in some of the world's most glamorous cities such as Los Angeles, Paris, Manchester, and Milan, and a summer retreat in Malmo. During his move from PSG to Manchester United, he once rented a house in England with a price tag of £16,500 per week. What about his garage? Zlatan's taste for the finer things in life is also on full display. The estimated worth of his car collection is a staggering $3 million. As an ambassador for Volvo, he owns an XC90 model. For his 40th birthday, he got himself a Ferrari SF90 Stradale, while for his 38th birthday, he bought a rare Ferrari Monza SP2. He also named his Lamborghini Urus the Zlatmobile. He owns a Porsche Spider and a Maserati Gran Turismo MC Stradale. The 41-year-old is undoubtedly one of the world's wealthiest football players, with an estimated net worth of approximately $200 million. The Swedish superstar's annual salary is reported to be $7.2 million, which is an impressive amount considering his age. With a career of over 2 decades, Zlatan has accumulated enough wealth that most people can only dream of. It's not just his salary contributing to his vast wealth. Ibrahimovic is also involved in several lucrative sponsorship deals. For instance, he is an ambassador for the Swedish car maker Volvo and the tech giant Samsung. Additionally, he endorses the popular gambling app Bethard and represents a chewing gum brand called Mind the Gum. He is also a brand ambassador to EA Sports. To his credit, he does give back to society. One of his noteworthy charitable gestures was donating $50,000 to support a team of intellectually disabled players from Sweden who qualified for the INAS World Football Championship in Brazil. The team needed to raise a total of $51,000 to cover their expenses, and they relied on the generosity of Swedish soccer players who donated jerseys and shoes that could be auctioned off. Nevertheless, Zlatan's contribution stood out as he presented the most significant amount. Moreover, Zlatan demonstrated his charitable character by launching a fundraiser worth $1.1 million to aid Italy's fight during the pandemic. He is involved in numerous philanthropic acts, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't get into trouble. Zlatan has faced various controversies throughout his career, often putting him at odds with fellow players, coaches, and fans. From headbutting teammates to violent threats and insults against Van der Vaart, Pep Guardiola, the Swede has done it all. He once punched a defender in the stomach, slapped another for stepping on his foot, kicked Antonio Cassano in the head, kicked St. Etienne goalkeeper in the chest, made sexist remarks at an award ceremony, showed disloyalty to his former club Malmo, who built a statue in his honor by investing in his arch-rivals Hammarby. He was also fined €50,000 for breaking disciplinary regulations related to his interests in the sport betting company Bethard. Despite his successes on the field, these controversies have cast a shadow over Ibrahimovic's reputation and character, leading many to question his judgment and values. But there are some things you probably didn't know about the Swede. Ibrahimovic was so loved in France that a local cafe introduced a gigantic burger called Le Zlatan in his honor. The word Zlatan has been officially added to the Swedish National Dictionary. It refers to dominating or executing something with exceptional talent. But perhaps the biggest surprise is that his partner Helena is 11 years older than him.